Dr. Brian Nickel, your cannabis expert for CannabisExpertMD.com, answering a frequently asked question. This one comes to me from the Cannabis Expert MD website. Glenn from Glenpool, Oklahoma asks, and I did check, and Glenpool is a real place in Oklahoma. Nicely done. He asks, what's the best way to make Rick Simpson oil? Rick Simpson oil is something most patients have heard of. It's an extract of the cannabis plant. If you look at a lot of the recipes online for Rick Simpson's oil, you find out that you do have to use a solvent to pull out all the cannabinoids and terpenes. Many of the recipes online advocate using relatively dangerous solvents. Many of them are flammable. Some of them actually have toxicity associated in the human body. Unless you do a complete solvent extraction, unless you're very skilled at chemistry, that can be a very difficult thing to do. So making Rick Simpson oil does carry risks with it. If you are going to make your own Rick Simpson oil, let's minimize the risks. The only solvent I recommend patients use is ethanol, pure grain alcohol that has to be obtained from a liquor store. Ethanol will pull all the cannabinoids and terpenes out of the plant material. It is the least toxic and the least flammable substance that there is available to do this. So in order to make your Rick Simpson oil, you're going to grind your cannabis up. You will fully decarboxylate it. There are a lot of information available online as to temperatures and times in your oven to do this. Once the cannabis is fully decarboxylated, you place it in a mason jar. To that mason jar, you add some ice cold ethanol in a level sufficient to leave a little bit of coverage over the top of the cannabis material. You store this in your freezer. That's important to prevent the formation of waxes from the plant sterols and fats that are located within the cannabis material also. You want to leave it in your freezer from 4 to 7 days, shaking it a couple times a day. At the end of that period of time, you're going to filter the plant material from the ethanol extract. The ethanol extract, it may be green, it might be amber, it might be brown, really doesn't matter what the color looks like, but you're going to place this in a very shallow pie plate, cover it with a paper towel, and allow the alcohol to evaporate off. Some recipes you'll find online advocate heating the alcohol. This alcohol is flammable. If you heat it up, that does increase the risks of fire, so I just advise putting it off to the side, let it evaporate off naturally away from an ignition source. When all the alcohol evaporates off, you're going to be left with a sticky gum on the bottom of the pie plate. There's your Rick Simpson oil. Dosing of Rick Simpson oil is a little tricky. I always advise patients to go with a very low dose initially, something as is often quoted, the size of a grain of rice. Apply that to mucous membranes just between your cheek and gum. Wait at least 30 minutes to see the effects before you decide to dose additionally. Always start with a very low dose. Go very slow on your escalations when using Rick Simpson oil. For more information about all things medical cannabis, check us out at CannabisExpertMD.com. We're also available on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter under CannabisExpertMD.